Welcome everybody to the fourth video on this trick. If you use my previous setup or Torp's setup, you won't get the same results every single time, at least not for every step of the setup. That's just how it works. It's just not going to be the same unless you do very specific slow stuff. I'll get to that later. But movement in this game is very complex with these extremely high numbers. So let's go over it. So my old setup was to draw your sword, do a jump attack. And if you look at the lowest, I mean the value at the bottom where it says 2448.28906. If you look at that number, try to memorize that for a bit. We get that number every time by doing a jump attack. So let's try holding target after we land. We still get the same number. So that doesn't make a difference. But let's go into C-up mode like this as quickly as we can. Or you don't even need to hit C-up, I missed it there. And now we have 2454.14062. Which is not as far forward. So 2448, 2453 this time. And that's because we interrupt Link moving forward. So we're further back because he rises up from this jump attack animation. And that right there is one inconsistency. You could, however, just wait until you get the number, or until the animation is completely over, and then aim. But you're losing seconds, and you might as well just learn to eyeball it at that point. However, with Torp's setup, by doing backflip, side hop right, and target roll, we always get 2456.00146. No matter how quickly you do the inputs, you always get this position. And releasing target and everything, you always get this position. So this is completely consistent, so that is great. We want as much consistency as possible when it comes to values like this. So with this as our point for the LGA, our position for it, let's save this position. And now let's talk about this. So he wants to aim, in his video he talked about aiming right here. And that doesn't really make a difference where you aim up or down in itself, because you always get the same LGA speed, which is 72.03391. However, the boomerang reaches this point quicker if you target here than if you target down here. So when the boomerang hits something, it will do a little twirl thing like that. So if I aim down here, let's see, there we go. It takes a while before it does a little spin. But if I aim at the Torp's position, right here, it will do the spin a bit quicker. So that's always good. But if you target here, then you target this thing. So you it's kinda hard to flick it and hit exactly that spot. I mean, this is very close to it as well, so this will still be faster. Not by much actually, so I think you need to hit this, at least this frame, let's see, this frame or further up for it to spin quicker. Then if you aim all the way down, let's see, almost there, down here, it takes half a second more until the boomerang is over there. And the reason why he wanted to aim up here, that was a good flick, was because he didn't want to fall off the spike. And where you aim on this chandelier has nothing to do with that, I realized. But what does matter, right there, what does matter is how quickly you jump. So I jumped as soon as possible there, as soon as the boomerang was over the chandelier. And that results in slipping off. If I aim at the same spot, but just wait until I see the twirl, or I react to it, or I predict it, then it won't happen. Also, I didn't set up immediately. That's also something I need to cover. I'm just gonna wait. There we go. Immediate side up, and we don't slip off. So you need to wait until the boomerang does that little twirl, or it's just about to do it. So the boomerang needs to actually reach the destination. You can do the same for this one, but it's harder to mess up, to be too early. That's why this target is good, because when you're targeting down here, there's way more time before the boomerang reaches the destination. Oh, I didn't side up immediately. That's why I didn't slip off. I'll get to that in a moment. Oh my god. There we go. So with targeting around this spot, right here, it's pretty hard to be too early. So you don't get the slip off, even if you jump very early. So this spot is definitely better for multiple reasons. Reason number one, the boomerang reaches this point quicker. Reason number two, if you jump too early, well, you jump way too early, then you don't fall down because you don't get an LJ, of course. But the same can be said about this one. Like that. But reason number two is that if you jump early, but the boomerang hasn't reached the destination, but you still get an LGA, like that, you still don't get the slip off. So that's great. Now let's talk about how early you side hop. Let's still try to jump early. So there I waited out the animation and still no slip off, so that's great. Okay, so the same with the jump attack. Link kind of rises up, and you can see that the numbers change during that slide animation. So if I wait, I get this. Well, I'm actually gonna do the other one. Yeah, I'm gonna do Torp's one, because the numbers are more consistent that way, because I'm aiming at a very specific spot. So I'm aiming here, and I wait until the end. Link rises up, and I get 279.29004. And I do this side ups frame perfectly, I suppose. At least not 2 frames slower. So Link doesn't sidewalk before he side hops. And I see here I get something 0.138 is what I'm looking at. I always get this number, and then the next side hop something 0.998. Like this number is always the same if you wait out the animation. And you can do the same for this one, pretty sure. You just get different numbers, and I haven't memorized these numbers yet. So 0.877 was what I got there. Let's see. That was maybe early. Yeah, 0.877. So we get the same numbers. So far we've gotten consistency in numbers. Like this first one, 2456.00146 by not doing anything anything specifically, because it doesn't matter how quickly you do the backflip, side up and roll. It doesn't change anything. So for that one we didn't have to think about it. But for the side hops, if you want the exact same position, then we actually need to wait until Link has risen up from this animation and the boomerang is pretty much returned to him. And then the same for this one. So his shield is he's holding his shield like this. Kind of brings it back forward in front of him. So if you wait out these animations, then you get the exact same position. But it takes a little while. And at that point we're losing time versus eyeballing it. So that is not good. So let's see what's next. Yeah, okay, so in his video he did immediate side ups. So let's look at this number. It's still the bottom one. 279.19714. I'm just gonna remember the decimals. So 19714. 19714. Okay, that was the same. Let's see if it changes if I side up slightly differently. Like that. The timing was very slightly different this time. And now I get 278 even. And it just keeps going. The more you do this, the more numbers you discover, because you won't be frame perfect every single time. That time I was. But these numbers aren't that huge. But it can differ if you also jump early. So if you jump early, and then you also do this side up super fast, you get 275. So this is way off. So Link is now way further forward than 279. So you can look at his right boot. And because 279 and 278, the difference there isn't enough to matter for the clip. But 274 or 275, that's enough to matter for the clipping in terms of in relation to the visual cue. So if you use this visual cue when you have different positions all the time, then you won't always be able to skip walking left. So this one, I don't think this is enough left. This is almost enough left, I think. It's kind of hard to tell. I think I will just fall through. We'll see. Yeah, that was very close to skipping the sidewalk, or whatever you want to call it. So, I've been talking about a lot of things and I haven't really been so straightforward. I don't think it's been easy to follow exactly what I'm talking about at all times. As in, okay, and I'm going to talk about this part and this part and this part, kind of jumping back and forth a bit. But the main takeaway in this video is that the position in the beginning here, where you do backflip, side hop, roll, you always get that same position. Obviously not now because I didn't enter the door. But that is the same no matter how slow or quick you do it, so that's great. And for this one, aiming here or aiming down here doesn't really matter. The important part on this, I don't think you should focus on if you aim up here or right here or anywhere in between. But what you should think about is when to jump, because that is consistent. That was still early. But you get the same... Oh, 273. Wow, this was very early then. Yeah, so with 273 versus 279, that difference is too much for the visual cue, for the clip. So I would just say aim somewhere and then wait, focus a lot until you see that animation. And then you don't need to wait the side hop. I think you can just side hop immediately. But you can see that because I waited now, I get different positions. So being this far forward, I don't want to aim further left. So this might be too far left. So I definitely want to look further right. So I think I want to have the same visual cue for the first heart here. So I want to have this yellow line go into the center of the first heart like this. It's not dead on precise, of course. It can be like this or like this. But the further back you are, the further right is bad, because if you look too far right, then you might just fall completely through. So let's see, I want to wait until I see the thing, then jump and side up immediately. And then by doing that you still get 279 or 278, which is not big enough of a difference to make a difference. And then you use the same visual cue. So while sometimes you can use this visual cue and this visual cue, I would just say always go for this one, because you always land here instead of falling down, and then just do the slight movement change there. Because skipping that, moving left or right during the charged spin attack, there's too many things that need to go perfectly. I mean, if you absolutely want to skip that, then you can aim at the same spot, like up here, wait for the thing, jump, wait for Link to finish his animation, side up, wait for him to finish the animation again, side up one more time, and now you get this position every single time. And with this position being completely consistent, then you can find a visual cue that will make you skip that part. I'm just gonna guess this one. Yeah, that worked. So that skipped the moving left and right at this point. But the problem about that is I had to wait several times for Link to completely stop. So it's not worth it. Versus just side upping immediately like this. So now I can try the same visual cue. And now the pouch is too far right, so I need to do this, otherwise I will just fall through the bridge during the backflips. So it's cool to skip that part where you move left and right with the charge spin attack, but you need to do too many slow things for it to work. And at that point you're not saving time, because that slide adjustment, it only takes half a second. So I'm gonna go over it one last time, tell you what I think the best thing to do is. And that is to enter through the door on the right side. Don't do the jump attack thing, that is outdated, because the position may vary depending on how quickly you aim with the boomerang. So backflip, side up right, roll, does not matter how quickly you do it, which is awesome. And then just aim somewhere. Don't worry about aiming here, because this might take you 1 or 2 seconds to precisely aim at exactly this spot, and that's time lost to just practicing it without a setup. So I would just say do this flick-ish. That was double flick. That was one flick. Practice just doing one flick, or maybe like one more if you miss it. So if you're short, just do like that type of flick. So just practice doing one flick, or you can aim slowly and stop like that. And doesn't matter where you aim, just do that, and don't make small adjustments. Like here, I wouldn't make this small adjustment. Just don't do that. So just flick, stop. Yeah, that was good enough. I thought it was, if you target up here, obviously that's bad. Oh wait, I didn't target it. And I'm like, oh my god, I meant this thing. How far up do you need to target it? Yeah, like that. Okay, I'm surprised it's that far actually, so I guess this works then. Let's see the position. Oh, 286. No, okay, that's way too far up. I would not go for that. Okay, so yeah, it's anywhere from, let's see, here to right about here, I would say. So just flick and stop, that looks good. And then the next important part is to wait until you either see the boomerang do that little turn, or predict it, but try to not be too early. And then side up immediately, so don't wait for the animation at all. And then you have the first heart be aligned like this, 3 hits, backflip, hold B, and then you start to hold ESS left during the charge, release 3 backflips, hold completely right, and you're through. There's one thing I want to mention, and that is ESS. So right here, if you hold ESS right, you can see that the A button changes to jump and Link hasn't moved. So this is a safe way to avoid side walking and then side hopping, if you're worried about doing that, because now the position is way off. I mean, this is not bad, you just need to look further, I believe further right. Let's see. Yeah, so if you accidentally sidewalk a bit before you side up, you don't slip on the spikes, then you can look slightly further right to save yourself. But in order to avoid that completely, to have a 0% chance of that happening, as you're on your way to the bridge here, you hold target and you hold ESS right, and as soon as Link lands, if you hold it while he's in the air, then this will appear quickly. You can just press or mash A. I can just mash it like this. And I will never sidewalk because I'm just holding ESS. Like that. See it 280 instead of 279, but that is just one off, so the difference isn't good, great enough to make a difference. So then just do the slide adjustment here, and then the backflips. It's actually a bit faster to do ESS, because when you're doing ESS, Link instantly goes into this target position. You actually cut out some of his ending animation. I'm gonna show it after the backflip, after the spin attack I mean as well. So I'm gonna try to hold, no, after the spin attack. So I'm gonna hold ESS down right now. Well, not during this, but yeah. I'm gonna release and hold down, and Link should stop quicker. So that it's actually faster to hold ESS down. You can look at how his animation goes from... He goes quickly back to his target stance. So here he's not doing it. And then if I hold ESS down, or forward, doesn't really... I think for forward doesn't matter either. Yeah, it's just ESS somewhere. Left or right too, that also works. You will cut out some of the ending animation. I didn't hold it enough there. Which means that you can backflip sooner. So ESS is optimal. $277. Now obviously you can't see this in the real game, but this is almost 278. So I can still use the same visual cue and be fine. I don't need to look further left or right. So one last time, everything, and this is a long video, but I've already made 3 videos on this, and now Torpus made one as well. Also, I'm not trying to bash his video in any way, I just want to be very clear about how everything works. So that's why I'm referring to his video all the time, because he found some new stuff with this. So I'm really glad he uploaded that video, so now we got some more clearance. So yeah, right door, backflip, setup right, target roll, you just hold target for the whole thing. Don't hold control stick up and press A to roll, just do the target roll. You always get this position, flick and stop, and then you wait until the boomerang does a little twirl thing or the spin or whatever, or you can predict it, but try to not be too early. And then you hold ESS right. Now I waited for the side ups. Okay, let's try that then. So let's go over that. Let's wait out the side ups, at least the first one. So we get 273 instead of 279. And let's use the same visual cue. It still works. And now we actually skipped moving left or right. So don't worry about not getting the clip or falling down or anything if you don't do the side ups quick enough. But I still recommend doing the ESS thing. Slow. Spin, jump, ESS, jump, jump, C up, look right, find this visual cue, 3 slashes, backflip, hold B, move left to adjust for this, pouch is good, hold ESS down, backflip, backflip, backflip. You don't need to hold ESS down or left or anything, it's just if you don't want to mess it up and you're scared of moving a small amount. I think I might do the ESS for the first side ups there, but not after the spin attack. I might just do this instead. And then after the third one you release all inputs and you hold control stick completely right. And it doesn't matter how quickly you do that. Alright, I'm gonna cut the video before it gets 30 minutes long. Hope that was helpful.